Moments ago, the president posting this major announcement. We want to read it to you in full. Here it is. Iran promised to open the Strait of Hormuz, and they knowingly failed to do so, the president writes. This caused anxiety, dislocation, and pain to many people and countries throughout the world. They say they put mines in the water, even though all of their Navy and most of their mine droppers have been completely blown up. So there you have it. The meeting went well. Most points were agreed to, but the only point that really mattered, nuclear, was not. Effective immediately, the president states, the United States Navy, the finest in the world, will begin the process of blockading any and all ships trying to enter or leave the Strait of Hormuz. At some point, we will reach an all being allowed to go in, all being allowed to go out basis, but Iran has not allowed that to happen by merely saying there may be a mine out there somewhere that nobody knows about but them. This is world extortion, and leaders of countries, especially the United States of America, will never be extorted. I have also instructed our Navy to seek and interdict every vessel in international waters that has paid a toll to Iran. No one who pays an illegal toll will have safe passage on the high seas. We will also begin destroying the mines the Iranians laid in the straits. Any Iranian who fires at us or at peaceful vessels will be blown to hell. The president writes, Iran knows better than anyone how to end this situation, which has already devastated their country. Their Navy is gone, their Air Force is gone, their anti-aircraft and radar are useless. Khomeini and most of their leaders are dead, all because of their nuclear ambition. The blockade will begin shortly. Other countries will be involved with this blockade. Iran will not be allowed to profit off this illegal act of extortion. They want money, and more importantly, they want nuclear. Additionally, and at an appropriate moment, we are fully locked and loaded, and our military will finish up the little that is left of Iran. President Donald J. Trump.
Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you guys are doing okay. It's a long week. There's a lot of shit going on. We can just dive right in. Honestly, I was going to pull up maybe an episode and just run it off and see what's going on, but pretty sure most of us can see what's going on in the fucking world. This war is getting out of hand. We had a ceasefire, then we were supposed to have negotiations, and that lasted all about, I think, 21 hours or some stupid shit they said. J.D. Vance, Steve Witkoff, and Jared the Porcelain Doll Kushner were supposed to be our diplomacy delegates. Still sending Zionists out there to do American diplomacy, I see. That's fantastic. I really don't understand how America can stand for this shit. Like, they're literally making us look like a joke across the world. I don't really know what's going on. I don't know if our president has gone senile or what's happening, or he actually believes the bullshit intelligence he gets sometimes, but it absolutely astonished me on some of the choices he makes. So the peace talks, they stopped because Iran won't agree to not have any enriched uranium, and they won't give up the uranium that they have that they did enrich. And you're actively giving them a reason to understand why they don't want to give it up. I mean, you just illegally invaded their fucking country, and you're still going. I mean, and that's just the American side of it. There's a whole nother aspect to this war, too, in the Israeli side. And as soon as they announced a ceasefire, Israeli goes and starts carpet bombing fucking Lebanon. I don't really, just when is it going to stop, bro? Today marks the fucking anniversary of the Holocaust, I think. 6 million fucking Jews died, and here you are committing acts of violence that puts Jews literally in jeopardy. So I don't understand how this math works. We give you guys a place to have peace is what these Zionists said that they're going to do for the Jews, is keep them safe. And then they jump into these countless wars that have immense blowback all over the world. Like we saw that in Detroit. We see it constantly, with these proxy fighters that are fighting back for, the defenseless, basically. People are like, Iran funds terrorist regimes. Bro, so does America. It's literally what we did in Syria. Literally, we fucking destroyed Syria because we wanted to overthrow the regime. And then we implanted the old Al-Qaeda fucking leader who's got videos of him cutting fucking heads off as the president in Syria. So, I mean, like, just when is enough enough? Okay, so anyways, moving forward, ceasefire talk stopped. They're going to put a blockade up on Hormuz, they say. Not sure if you guys understand how it works, but since American media doesn't really tell you how this works, let me explain it to you. So, during this war, mind you, Trump has had to release sanctions that they had on Iran. Iran's been making about 45% more money each day than they were before the war started. That doesn't include the tolls they were charging for boats to get by, oil tankers to get by. They charge $3 a barrel or some shit like that, and usually you have or they charge $1 a barrel per oil that you have on your container, and most shipment containers contain about 1 million barrels, so they're charging about $1 million a pop, $2 million for some. But that's what they were charging people to go through the Strait of Hormuz. And let's not forget that before this war started, it was wide open and anybody could pass through there freely. Iran is charging a toll to reimburse them for the damage they've incurred over the time of this illegal war that America started on them. I know people in America, they like to say, oh, you're anti-American and you're a disgrace to your country. Like, I'm just pointing out the facts, bro. Like, if those facts make it so I'm anti-American, doesn't that make the policies that enable those to be facts anti-American? I'm confused. It just doesn't make sense to me. So I pull out real numbers and real facts about what our country is doing, and somehow I'm anti-American because I want to hold our country accountable for the things that they do. Lord forbid you want an accounting of what the fuck they're doing with your money or what they're doing in the world, period. Like, you're supposed to be acting on behalf of American citizens, and I'm pretty sure this war's got all of about 26% or some shit like that, maybe even 15%. So, I mean, we're not going to test the MAGA crowd who eats up anything Trump says, Mr. I'm the Messiah, posting pictures of himself as the fucking God, or whatever the hell that was he did after he attacked the Pope. That's another thing, too. You're supposed to be the leader of the free world. And in the last 6 weeks, the things that you have done, not only on the world stage, but as a representative of America, kind of makes people question what it is your agenda really is, or who it is you're actually serving, because over the last few weeks we really haven't seen any America First policies. We haven't seen anything change for the better in America. Gas prices are up. We're about to start feeling the inflation of this shit here soon. Like I said a couple days ago that we got a few weeks before we start feeling it, and we're going to. It's going to happen. It's coming, because that's what companies do. When they get charged, you have to pay the charge, okay? When gas goes up, you'll see a delivery charge and a surcharge that will go up on your deliveries and your receipts. But that's just the nature of business, America could actually take this and make it a positive, but that takes the oil companies in America to actually want to help Americans, and they don't really do that. So a lot of people don't realize that our American oil companies, they don't operate at full capacity, even though they have the capacity to operate at full capacity. So what that means is that these oil companies specifically keep production at a rate so that they can control the price of oil and control their profits, essentially. Even though they could increase production and make it cheaper on Americans so that it was better for Americans. And these are oil lobbyists who spend a lot of money in Washington and have the actual will, and I mean, not willpower, but have the actual ingredients to make it easier on Americans, the American electorate at that, the ones who put these politicians in charge to take money from fucking lobbyists, to make it easier on them, and they don't, because they want to maintain their profits. And that's the way the game kind of works. They could ramp up production and have America pumping out oil like never before, but Our reserves are low. They're not at full capacity. I mean, we've lost so many oil reserves in the last 2 administrations because they're just making poor decisions. And this is what I say when I say, like, we have to hold our government accountable. And if we don't, we can't complain that our government isn't accountable for anything, because we're the ones supposed to hold them accountable. And people are like, oh, like, you're wasting your time saying this stuff, like, nobody watches it, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't care. At least I know that as an American, I did something. Okay, I can't do everything. I can't, like, I have a family and I got to take care of people in my house. So I can't just drop everything and go be some, big voice for the world. This is the best thing I could do, is to try to give information to normal people, the very few people who will turn in, who maybe tell somebody something that they hear from me, and then that makes somebody go look it up, and then they show somebody. Like, that's all I'm trying to do. Because we're given so much misinformation and we're lied to on every single front. We're lied to about how many Americans have been injured in this war. We're lied to about how much money it's costing us. We're lied to about the damage it's cost us overseas, at home. What's going to happen? Okay, they're going to put this blockade up here at 10 a.m., they say, and they don't realize that the Houthis up in Yemen will close the Red Sea. And when they do that, and they're going to, by the way, because America thinks it can just impose its will. So Iran, without striking a U.S. ship, even though they could easily just send a ballistic missile and hit the ship, they know that's what America wants. They want Iran to sink one of their ships with our people on it so that they have a reason to go full-fledged war on them. That's what they want. Mark my words, that's what they fucking want. They're antagonizing. It's like when you're antagonizing somebody and poking them in the chest and poking them in the chest and poking them in the chest. And then when they hit you, all of a sudden you can shoot them, right? But you've been sitting there poking them in the chest for the last fucking 6 weeks. Bombing their fucking country illegally. Started the war off bombing an all-girls school. Killing 140 to 160 children. Ages 7 to 12 years old. That's how you started the war. Like, oh, this is what we're going to do. This is how the war is going to go. And you got mad because they were able to withstand what you threw at them. Like, people forget that Iran has been around for thousands of years. Iran was around long before America was even thought up of, inside of a Freemason's mind somewhere in the fucking basement of some church or some place they were meeting in secret to impose their will on the world. So, that's the real founding of America. People want to, we're the freest country. Like, bro, we were literally started by secret societies. So I think almost every one of the people who signed the Declaration of Independence were in a secret society, as a matter of fact. How many presidents came from the branches of those secret societies as well? I mean, you can look into that. We can do whole episodes on that shit. There's all kinds of secret societies that stem from the origins of way back when, I think maybe it's esoteric knowledge or some shit like that they call it. But that's really how they operate. They operate on a different set of laws. Like, we operate on paper laws and they operate on universal laws. So, when people are like, oh, they tell us to our face what they're going to do. Like, yes, they have to, because if they don't, they feel like they face a karma law. So if they don't hide it in our programming and in our TV shows and every single thing, you can go all the way. The Simpsons is one of the biggest, things where people are like, oh, well, everything the Simpsons shows seems to happen. Like, yes, no shit, Sherlock. Who fucking owns Fox? All right? Like, where did the Simpsons come from? How has this cartoon been on as long as it has? Like, do the fucking homework. Follow the paper trail. And what it is that they feel like if they show you and tell you what they're going to do, that they won't face karmic repercussions, But in the physical world, there's actually real karmic repercussions, like what was happening to Israel when they started a war with Iran. Like, they started getting bombed helplessly. And you see all these posts like, oh, there's no one screaming about the violence in Israel. Like, bro, You guys literally are bombing countries. You literally wiped out Gaza. You literally are wiping out southern Lebanon right now. And it's all for this greater Israel project. And then when somebody starts fighting back, you want to play the fucking victim. Like you can't do that. You can't have it both ways. All right? You can't be the aggressor and the victim. Okay, and that's what America's trying to turn itself into right now. They were the aggressor when this started, had a ceasefire. Now they're going to put up a blockade. What they want Iran to do is to sink that bitch with a ballistic missile. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if those were basically hollowed out vessels with very few, maybe as many people as it takes to run it as possible, if it's not fucking automated, because they want Iran to shoot that bitch down so that they have a reason to finally go full-fledged like they want to. The problem is, it doesn't matter how full-fledged they want to go. You're not going to be able to take this country. Okay? You're not going to be able to. The geography, the populace, it's not going to happen. Okay? America might be the strongest force and strongest military in the world. That's great. But America is a long way from Iran. Okay? All of our assets are a long way from Iran. All of that weaponry and all of that money we spend on defense, it's here. Okay? Yeah, they can mobilize shit over the world and send these big carriers with jets. Like, that's great. But not in any time in any fucking history have you been able to win with air power. So, that's the first problem. You got this Air Force commander who's right in the president's fucking ear, probably preaching about how the Air Force is the best thing in the world and they're the most they're the most outlandish military and presence in the world, and they can accomplish anything by air power, which is great. They are. They're superior. America is superior when it comes to air power. But you cannot take over any country by bombing it. You can't topple a regime by bombing it, especially a place like Iran. They tell us that Iran's full of a bunch of fucking religious zealots and they're all so religious on their crazy-ass Islam religion. If that's the case, we had no reason to go there in the first place then, because they had a religious law against chemical weapons. And they even enacted that religious law when America and Iraq decided to use chemical weapons against Iranians, in which the Iranians did not respond with chemical weapons because they said, quote, it was an act against God. So, do I agree with this fucking Islam shit? No, I don't. I don't agree with any fucking religion, period. Okay? And I certainly don't agree with any men that think that they can tell women any fucking thing, because it's not your job. All right? They're human beings just like we are. I know we live in this society where there's this big argument against men and women are equal and men are, whatever the fuck. Okay? That's all more bullshit. Okay? We all know that there's a difference between men and women. We all know that that is nature's positive and negative energies. We know that that's what creates life. It takes a male and a female, all right, in order to create life. Period. It takes a male species and a female species to create life in almost all of our species. Okay? In almost all of existence, it's a positive and a negative energy that came together that created the particles, or, our atoms are centralized. They all have two sides to them. Everything has two sides to it. Just like the fucking life that we live has two sides to it. Everything has two sides to it. The life you're living now has a whole nother side to it. Whether you choose to look at that side is on you. And that's the problem. All of us only look through the lens of what we want to see. So if you're American, you're only going to look at the American views. If you're Iranian, you're only going to look at the Iranian views. If you're Catholic, you're only going to look at your Catholic bias. If you're Christian, you're only going to look at your Christian bias and Muslim bias and Jewish bias, because those are the lenses that you look through. So if you refuse to look through other people's lenses, you have no fucking idea why somebody is doing what they're doing. You only put your emotions into their ideology. Let me say that again. You're putting your emotions into their ideology when it has nothing to do with anybody. Okay, most of the shit is based on fucking religion, which is based on a fucking lie anyways. Religion was a tool of control. And they're using it to control you and everybody around you. Because at the end of the day, most people are fucking religious. Most people really think they'll go to hell if they don't abide by some fucking rules that were in some fucking book that was never wrote by God. You know, when we talk about Jesus and this and that, like, religion is literally what fucking killed him. Literally, religion is what killed Jesus. Jesus was not a fucking Christian. He was not a fucking Muslim. He was not a fucking Jew. All right? He was a man. A man that God sent to tell you that the temple of Christ is inside you. That the material world does not matter. That all the work that you have to do belongs inside of you and not outside. And the more outside you outsource your governance, the more miserable you're going to be. You're sacrificing yourself to the outside world. That's what you're doing. Chasing money, chasing girls, chasing a house or stability or security. You're chasing material things. Period. Because real security and real stability and real foundation starts with yourself. Once you treat yourself properly, you can treat your life accordingly. Let me say that again. Once you treat yourself properly, you can treat your life accordingly. But you have to be willing to look at yourself, just like we have to be willing to look at our country and say, this is what we're doing wrong. We've gotten it wrong. We can't keep going this way. Okay, so stop. It's our job to make them stop. Just like it's your job to change whatever you want to change. If you don't like your fucking job, don't work there. If you don't like the people in your life, why are they in your life? If you don't like your girlfriend or your boyfriend, why are you there? All right. If you know whatever it is that you know that you don't like about something and you put up with it, then you can't complain about it. Don't even bother complaining about it because you're only making yourself more miserable because you've already accepted it. And once you've accepted it, anything else after that is you making yourself more miserable. For what purpose? For what purpose? What purpose does it drive to be negative about anything? It really doesn't at all. Nothing at all. Because all that negativity does is breed negativity. That's all it does. All negativity wants is more negativity. All right? That's the way that negative energy works. It consumes itself so that it gets more negative energy. What the fuck do you think all of Earth is? It's a negative energy. We are the positive energy. And because we are on the negative energy, we're grounded to the earth. That's why they literally call walking on grass grounding. Because you're grounding to the fucking earth. And most people aren't grounded. They're not even grounded in thought or emotion or ego. And that's the problem. We live in this world that's, people are chasing happiness through money and wonder why they're fucking miserable. Yeah, if you're using money for happiness, you are always going to be poor. If what you have is not good enough, nothing's ever going to be good enough. Appreciate what you have. Because what you have is a lot more than what you had. But if you want more than what you have, you'll never appreciate what you have, and you'll never understand why it is you only had what you had. We have to do better mentally. Because that's where all the problems lie, are inside your mind. You are in control of your mind. Your mind is not in control of you. We are in control of our government. Our government is not in control of us. Okay? And that message goes for everybody in the world. We are in control of our government. They are not in control of us. Okay? This is our world. It is not theirs. God gave this world to all of his children, which is everybody. He does not have a favorite. He does not have a religion. He does not have a fucking language. He doesn't even have a gender. This world is all of ours. It is not theirs as their personal fucking piggy bank to operate off of our labor and enjoy the fruits of our labor, our blood, our sweat, and our tears while they sit in their top floors of their fucking mansions or wherever the fuck they're at. It doesn't matter. They don't run this shit. Just because they control it doesn't mean it belongs to them. It belongs to us. And we have to do better. As a people, as a species, we have to do better. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, there's so much going on in the world. Just look into stuff yourself. Don't just take what you get for information as firsthand. Don't even take the stuff I give you. Just look it up and see if I'm telling the truth. If I'm not, call me out on it. If you want to debate me on it, call me out on it. You know, I'm okay with that. So, you know, I appreciate you guys coming in. Thanks for the attention. Thanks for the likes. Subscribe if you can. Like, share. Let people know, you know. I truly appreciate your time and, you know, your attention in all of these matters because they're important to me and they should be important to you. And you are important and you are a factor in this life, whether you think you are or not. You are important. You're special. And your voice matters. All of our voice matters. Like, subscribe. We'll see you next time.